Okay, welcome back. Ron Lydian. And this is going to be a head-to-head demo. Boss Katana Mini and Boss Dual Cube LX. Okay, so a little bit of the backstory. I was actually considering getting rid of my Spark 40 because it works great with the Mac stuff, but I do a lot of demoing over here just because of logistics, because basically Mac is in the living room, and during the day I can't really be in the living room because that's where the wife has her home office. So during the day, this is the spot over here in the bedroom, and over here this is Windows land. And unfortunately, Sparky and Windows, they just don't get along. Tried everything. The only way it really works for me over here is if I put the mic in front of it, which is fine. But now that I'm able to do line-in recording, because it's much quieter and I get much better audio quality, that's what I've been wanting to do. Couldn't do that with demoing and reviews because you can't use a splitter, plug the mic in and plug the line in. It doesn't work. But I did find an adapter online. I ordered it, and I'm going to test that out. And if that works, then I will in fact be able to record the guitar direct using the line out from the amp, line in for Windows, and microphone in directly to Windows, and no background noise. So just my voice and the sound of the guitar. How cool is that? So anyway, that's the reason I bought the Dual Cube, because it's got some great features. I'll put all the specs in the description, and so you can see for yourself. Unfortunately, in terms of some of the amp models and tone-wise, it just doesn't measure up for me. So anyway, let's start off. Let's get right into it. So this is Dual Cube. This is clean. Okay, the amp model I'm using here, bear with me because I'm reading this upside down. Okay, this is JC Clean. So I guess JC stands for Jazz Chorus. So I'm going to go to the, start off with the acoustic simulator. This actually isn't bad. It's pretty nice. And when you split it, quite nice actually. Now, one of the things about this amp that is really cool are the effects. Okay, so here we are. This nice pristine acoustic simulator. Now let's get into some chorus. Now we kick it up a notch. Flange. Now we'll get into phase. Now, one of the things about this amp that is really cool are the effects. Okay, so here we are. This nice pristine acoustic simulator. Now let's get into some chorus. really nice. Okay, so. And then after that, it gets into octave. Yeah, that's nice. So, like I said, effects are great. So I'll turn it off. Alright, so now let's get into, alright, so let's get back to the regular clean channel. So this is our standard clean. As you see, as soon as I take it from the acoustic simulator, I lose a lot of highs. Not so cool, man. But, yeah, let's carry on. You know, there's still hope. There's always hope. It just seems like they kick the Alright, so let's get into some of the delay effects. So we're going to echoplex. Alright, now we get into reverb. Reverbs are really nice. I really like the reverb. Sounds pretty roomy. Yeah, nice, really roomy. And then you get into plate. So you can get your surf on. So anyway, yeah, the effects are actually quite nice. That is definitely a plus point for this amp. It's got a lot of bells and whistles. You can run it in stereo. It's got Loopback for iCube link, Loopback. It's got USB Loopback. You can run it with a foot switch. You can get the Boss foot switch. It's got a line out. You can run that in stereo. I mean, it's got a lot of bells and whistles. And it's got a line level recording out from the headphone jack. Like I said, a lot of bells and whistles. But the basic tone, yeah. All right, so let's check out some of the different tones. So here's, okay, so we're going to go to, this is US combo. So let's check out US combo. Let's put a little more gain on that. What I noticed is there's a lot of mid. It's like whoever, you know, designed this amp must be a fan of mid-range. It's the only thing I could think of. So this is a single coil. I mean, you know, this doesn't sound bad for... Yeah, let me put the flanger on, see what it sounds like. Okay, not bad. I mean, yeah, that's pretty close. So, let's go to the next one. So this is Brick combo. So this is based on a bridge combo. Which one? Who can say? Maybe Vox. Just right out the bat. It's a lot dirtier. Let's just say I was expecting more. Okay, so now we're going to get into the gainy area. All right, so this is high gain stack. High gain stack. Okay, so for me, what's missing is actually the gain. Where's the gain? So turn the gain up to 10. This is gain on 10. But like I said, I was expecting so much more. Alright, so now we're going to get into metal stack. So I'll back off the gain. So we'll take that back a bit. Definitely more gain. But also notice input output. Okay, kind of, sort of. Is it metal? I don't know. But okay, whatever. So anyway, you get the gist of it. Alright, so now we're going to this next, they call it extreme. So, I guess this is supposed to be a modern metal tone, right? Now, interestingly enough, so here's treble. I have treble on, let's say, 8. So if I roll treble off, now that almost sounds like the high gain mod, right? The high gain model. So I put treble on 12 o'clock. And to me it's lacking a bit of bass, so I'm going to crank the bass up. Okay, that's getting a little closer to it. So let's try the review riff. Yeah, this is not a bad thrash tone. Okay, it's not a bad thrash tone, honestly. Okay, now we'll get into some different stuff. Now it has a mic, so I guess this is just line level for mic. This is what you get, pretty much just straight ahead. Your level goes way up, which is good for miking, obviously, and it's just clean. Now this actually wouldn't be bad if you were going to run another amp through it and use this just as a, you know, an extension speaker. That would actually be kind of cool. But you know, like I said, for me, I don't know. It's cool. It has its uses, but you'll see when I do the comparison to the Mini, you're gonna be like, what? Wow. It cost me about $250, so it wasn't that expensive. But it's kind of like, did I really need to buy this? Actually, no. At the end of the day, I could have just bought these cable adapters, like I went ahead and did anyway, and used the Boss Katana Mini to go back and forth between Mac and Windows World. But you know, you live and learn, man. You know, that's just kind of how it is. And then there's actually the last, which is a stereo setting. Which is also clean. So I would connect, you know, maybe another instrument, keyboard, something like that. So anyway, you get the gist of it. All right, so we are out of the Dual Cube LX, and now we are into the Boss Katana Mini, which we all know and love. So here we are. So dry. I'm not going to use delay in this case, no need. I'll get to that later, but we don't really need to do that. So this is Boss Katana Mini, the junior of the two. Nice clean. Tragic days of my life. I don't even want to talk about it. Anyway, shouldn't even have played that. But anyway, moving on. And keep in mind, this is clean, but you can kind of get a little. It was a time slip. Another time trip. So that's all. You know, I don't want to get any copyright issues. But anyway, but this is clean. You roll off a little roll off a little volume from your guitar directly. It's nice and pristine. It's very, very nice. I mean, considering what this amp is, this is a little practice warm-up amp. But, man, for me, this amp is just fantastic. All right, so then you get the crunch channel. All right, so obviously we'll add a little gain to that. And it does crunch. Too, may he rest in peace, man. That guy was great, man. That guy was pure rock and roll, but yeah, maybe a little too much. Anyway, so yeah, you get the gist of it. I mean, this is, you know, and here, okay, here's crunch with single coil. You know, and here's one of the things about AC/DC. I will reference it since I'm sort of emulating AC/DC. Malcolm, may he also rest in peace. Malcolm, he would oftentimes dial in his guitar so it almost sounded Stratty, even though it wasn't single coil. But it could be he was using soap bars. I never really investigated. You know, I'll do some research on that. Maybe post it. Just put a post. Because he man, it was almost that Strat twang, but not quite. All right. So anyway, so now we go to Brown. Now, obviously, they modeled this after the Edward Van Halen sought after Brown sound. That's nice. Now, okay, I actually have bass turned up a little higher than I typically would. It's because I was using a very tinny sounding guitar the other day to do some recording, and I wanted to fatten it up. So anyway, I'm going to put bass to where I typically have it. But still. Yeah, this is great. And okay, it doesn't have all the oscillation effects that the dual cube has, but it's got a really nice built-in delay. Great for solo. That's nice, man. I mean, where can you... Obviously, if you play slower, you get the sense of the delay. That's great. And, you know, if you turn it down, turn the level down just a bit, it's really subtle. It's almost just like a reverb. Just a touch. Nice. So, yeah, that's kind of sums it up. I'm not going to say buy or don't buy, because that's not the point of this. The point of this is to simply show you a comparison so you can make an informed decision if you want to get a practice, warm up, write song amp to connect to whatever, your PC or your Mac. For me, the Katana Mini is the one to go with. Now, when you get into the more esoteric high end with all the bells and whistles, that would be the Spark 40. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. The Spark 40 is epic. I play that thing pretty much every single night in the evening, working on songs and practicing and, you know, working on covers. Amazing, amazing amp. For doing demos and reviews, this guy right here. This guy right here. Boss Katana Mini. That guy. This guy's cool, but this guy's, for me, for my purposes, it's much better. Now you're probably wondering, hey Ron, what's that? Can I buy that? Well, no, actually you can't. So I'm going to tell you the story about this. This is maybe one of the only ones ever made. I think he had 2 or 3 that he made. The late Jerry Blaha. And if you had any amp or guitar work done back in the 80s and the 90s, you probably know who he was. He had a Marshall mod which emulated a boogie, and it was just weird. Of course, okay, me, you know, I'm kind of a Marshall purist, and I was like, well, Jerry, why would you modify a Marshall so it sounds like a boogie? He's like, well, there's certain guys who want that sound, and they, you know, they don't want to spend all that money on a boogie. They still want a Marshall, and yeah, it was crazy. It got all this lush, saturated gain. But that wasn't the only mod he did. He also did a standard Marshall mod. I had a couple of amps. I had this 150 watt, by the way. It was a JMP, I think a JMP 78 50. and with a gain mod and an effects loop that he put in it, and it looked completely stock. It was awesome, and I was a fool to sell it. Should never have sold it, but oh well, you live and learn. Yeah, and I used to hang out at his shop. I mean, he used to work basically out of his single apartment in West Hollywood. When I first met him, that's where he was. And then he opened up a shop on Gardner right off of Sunset. And I remember going to him for some work. He's all, "Hey, I got this splitter box. You want it?" And I'm like, "Well, don't you need it?" He's like, "No." He's like, "I couldn't even sell it." I'm like, "Okay, so how's it work?" He's like, he says 3 in, 1 out. I was like, "What?" He's like, "Oh, no, sorry." he made it, and he even made the mistake. I still make the mistake today. It's 1 in, 3 out. I'm like, "Oh, that's actually cool. So I could plug in the guitar and I could go to like 3 different amps." He's like, "Yeah." And if you had a foot controller for each amp, you could do this and that. And sure enough, that's what I did. I've had this little splitter box for at least 40 years. Because I met Jerry in '82. Tragically, he died in, I think, 2017 of lung cancer. May he rest in peace. I'm sure wherever he is, he's still tweaking amps and whatnot. But anyway, yeah, he just gave me this thing. And I used to have all these Marshalls when we rehearsed in my mom's garage. And one day I just decided at band practice, "Hey guys, I'm going to run through every head." And they're like, "Oh no." It was so fucking loud. So I was running through a 50 and 200s, all modded. I think one of the hundreds was stock, so I was just using that for power. And one of the no, that's right. I had 100 that was modded. I think it was by, I want to say, Mike Marin, who also did amp mods. And I had another one from Jerry. And then I had a Metaltronics, Lee Jackson, Metaltronics 100-watt. So we were rehearsing, and I was blasting. Bass player and drummer, they had no chance. And I was running through, I think at that time I had 4 412 cabinets. So I was just running through 3 of the 412 cabinets using this splitter box, man. It was so loud. I think my mom came over. She's like, "Hey, it's too loud in there." She came knocking on the door. "Hey, you can't do that. It's too loud. Somebody's going to call the cops." She's like, I could feel it in the living room. I was like, "Okay." So anyway, yeah. So that's the story on this splitter box. Yeah, I'm sure you can buy something like this online. I mean, it's just 1 in, 2 out, and they probably have one even with with a level, level control, level knob on it, so you can control the amount, or even a blend knob, so you can control how much level or how much, for each output going out to whatever. I mean, you know how it is nowadays, man. Everything's just, over the top with the tech. So anyway, yeah. So I hope that gives you the gist for the Dual Cube LX, Boss Katana Mini. Yeah, y'all know it. Y'all love it. It's a great little amp. I can only recommend it, especially for the price. Fantastic amp. I'm not going to plug the Spark, but if you want to go buy the Spark, feel free. The Spark is great, but this is about the Boss stuff, the Boss line. Now, a friend of mine, he was looking at a YouTube channel at a demo, and he said the Boss Katana 50 was raging. Yeah, I'd like to try it out, but man, I'm clocking at 7, 8 guitars now, and I'm thinking there's like 3 or 4 amps here. So yeah, the apartment's getting a little crowded. So yeah, no more gear for the time being. But anyway, yeah. So again, this has been Ron Lydian giving you a head-to-head Boss versus Boss. If you dig the channel, if you're digging it, please give a like, and if you like, please subscribe. And if you subscribe, please don't forget to hit that notification bell so you are notified anytime I post brand new content. Also, you can follow me at Instagram, and that is Ron Lydian 2 at Instagram, Ron Lydian 2. You can also catch me on Facebook. I'm also on Facebook, Ron Lydian. Yeah. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed that, and we'll be doing it again soon.